Hello, friends. I started just a couple minutes early to give people a chance to get on. So if you are here, when you get here, hop on and say hello. Let me know you're here. And, let's see. Why don't you tell me how warm it was today where you are? Adjust my microphone so it might be a little bit loud. I apologize. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start. So, let me hit record first. All right. We are recording. Hello. Happy Thursday. Today is week 3. Week 3 of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and doing 3 on Thursday. And today I actually have 6 cards for you. But we're going to keep it in the same time frame or even less possibly. But before we do that, I wanted to do an unboxing. I got a box today. I haven't even opened it yet. So I thought that would be fun to do at the beginning. And before that, I wanted to do a super quick overview of the cards that we've done. So let's take a look. So this was week 1, and we have 2 cards from Paper Pumpkin. Let me move them into screen here. So this one, super cute, super fun. This one pops out. Right, and then both of these actually have information about the flower on the back side. Oh, it just does not want to focus on that, does it? And then we had one separate card designed by me. Okay, so that was week 1. This is week 2's cards. So we did this one. It was designed vertically, but we did it horizontally just to kind of see how that worked in a different format. And then we have this. So this is the Country Woods paper. This one is the Perennial Lavender paper, and stamp set as well. And then these 3 cards are Nature's Sweetness, and this one paper has a total of 6 circle designs on it. So we went ahead and did 3 with a few different options. Well, I had one done. We made another. I had 2 done, and we made another during the class. So I think I am really loving them. So hopefully they are providing you all with some inspiration as well. So let's take a quick look at what's in the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? I do still need to do a catalog walkthrough, and I will do that here very shortly. 2 sheets of bubble. I like the bubble wrap that they use in their warehouse. All right, what do we got? Oh, look at this. This is so pretty. The butterfly, I love it. And the flowers. Anyway, look, we have our little distress dots that we like to use. That'll be fun. We have Adventurous Sky. This will be great for some guy cards and pages. All right, this one, Spotlight on Nature dies. So this is going to coordinate with that first stamp set that we looked at with the butterfly and the flower. Okay, so this is 2 cards worth. But look at these dies, they are so fun. So they cut the outside and then the design of whatever is around the outside, but the inside stays a solid circle of whatever your paper is. So, 1 second. Okay, so sorry. Anyway, so these can't come as a bundle with the Spotlight on Nature stamp set, or you can get them as a bundle. They do come separately, which is very cool. We have Adventurous Skies dies. So these will go with the airplane stamp set. So lots of fun. So this little piece right here is, that tape is strong, is meant to have a hold of the banner somehow. Not quite sure how, but that is a thing for another day, right? We're just doing a super quick look through. Oh, we have some mini Stampin' Dimensionals. So just to give you an idea, oh, I'm knocking things over. 1 second. So here you can see the difference in size. I know it's blurry, I'm sorry. But those will be handy. Alright, and then we have paper. So let me take the paper out of the box. Okay, what do I have here? We have the Brights 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So I don't want to take it all out, but there you can see all of those colors. Isn't that pretty? Alright, so that is the Brights colors. Next we have the 24 through 26 in colors. So I know I haven't really talked about this a whole lot. I'm still learning so many of these things. I know a lot of things because I have followed some fabulous demonstrators for many years. But I don't know everything. If you do have questions though, let me know. I will find answers for you. So these are the in colors. So there are 5 and they last for 2 years. And so these are this year's new colors. Next year, the 23 through 25 will retire and we'll get 25 through 27. And it'll be 5 new colors. So we have Shy Shamrock, Petunia Pop, Summer Splash, Pretty in Pink, which is a returning color. I apologize for the blurriness. And then Peach something. Now I have to look. My book is still marked up from last week. Yes, Peach Pie. And I was right on the rest of them. Yay! Stuff is sinking in. Alright, so that is that one. Alright, oh, we have 2 paper pack. Look at this. I just have to show you. This is one paper. I'm trying to kind of bend it so you can see the thickness. That's one cardstock pack. This is, I gotta measure this. This is a 1/4 inch thick. Ooh, look at the paper. I believe it's Blackberry Bliss. I love that color. So these are the neutrals, and I got 2 packs of them. Oh, that means this is crumb cake. I've loved crumb cake for years and years and years and years and years. All right, so let's take a look. All right. You know what? I'm going to open this and see how close we can get. So, this is neutrals. Okay. So I'm going to flip it over so I can't see it. And I'm going to give you some colors and then we'll look and we'll see how close I am. All right, so we already know. I think this is Blackberry Bliss. Night of Navy. You get 2 sheets of every color. This is going to be espresso. I don't know what color this is. This is going to be, I think it does have the name Mist in it somehow, but I'm not positive. Mossy Meadow. Something with Peacock. I don't know. Pebbled Path. Ooh. And that's going to be a gray. I don't know if that's basic gray or if there's a different gray. And then Crumb Cake. All right, let's see what we have. They're not in the same order, of course. All right, Mossy Meadow, yes. Misty Moonlight, so I was right. It had mist in it. Night of Navy, Blackberry Bliss, Early Espresso, so I missed early. Pecan Pie is the one I didn't know. Crumb Cake, yes. Gray Granite, oh, I was wrong. So Gray Granite, Smoky Slate was the one I thought was basic gray. Wait. Oh, so Gray Granite was the one I thought was Pebbled Path. This has 3 grays in it though. I don't see 3 grays. Oh, this one is going to be basic gray. Okay, hold on. Let's put them in the order that's in the book. Sorry, I know this is such a distraction. Alright, so we have Mossy Meadow. We have Misty Moonlight. We have Night of Navy. This will help you guys learn it though too, if you don't already know it. Blackberry Bliss. Early Espresso. Oh, here's the problem. Okay, this one is Misty Moonlight. This one is going to be basic gray. Okay. Okay. All right, so Early Espresso, Pecan Pie, Crumb Cake. So here are the 3 grays. And they're very different grays. So if you come from Close to My Heart, this one is going to be very close to Pebble. Anyway, so this will be Pebble. This will be the light side of Charcoal, maybe Whisper. And this will be the or maybe this would be the light side of Charcoal. This would be Whisper. This would be Pebble. All right, so Gray Granite is the more brown. Smoky Slate is the light gray. And Basic Gray is the dark gray. Okay. Now that we have that straight, and then this is the Take to the Skies paper packet. That is not the right terminology. This is Take to the Skies DSP. All right, so we have a cut apart page with some tags, and on the back side we have this gray map. We have some grid paper with some Night of Navy drawn gray planes. This main color is Copper Clay. And so we have kind of a weave pattern here with that. So we have a green kind of topographical map. No. There's a name for the style of map, and I cannot think of what it is. And then we have a different kind of weave with the background being that Night of Navy. So this one is very similar to this one. There is a grid in the background, but it's very, very light. And it's the same style, and they are the same planes. They are more spaced out on this page than they are on this page. And then we have this fun riveted metal. Let's see, will it let me give you a close-up here? Look at this. So fun. Okay. Well, we have some blue skies. And a gray plaid with a slight bit of texture on the gray. And then we have these fun, kind of cartoony style planes. And then this is going to be the topographical map. So this is to show the elevation. So this is a mountain with a few more peaks and things like that. Okay, and that, my friends, is the end of the paper. It does have this lightweight, shiny, it's not chipboard, but it's a thick paper. And this is where you will find the colors that coordinate with these papers: boho blue, copper clay, mossy meadow, night of navy, and smoky slate. You will also find it online. Let's double check. I do not believe they are in the book, but I want to make sure that I'm giving you correct information. Oh, I am incorrect. They are on the pretty page in the book. So the page that has some of the artwork to go with the suite, right? It has the colors across the bottom. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and get started. So we are going to use, let me move some more stuff out of the way. Okay, so we are going to use, the box made my desk dirty. We're going to use the Memories and More cards. So these are Unbounded Beauty, and I kind of showed them a couple weeks ago. I think it was, anyway. So this is half of the pack. So you get 3x4 and 4x6. And these are the cards, and I'll just go through them super quick. Okay? Because we're going to use half a pack today. I have pre-cut the other pieces. I don't remember what side that was on. I have pre-cut the other pieces, but I have not cut any of the Memories and More cards. But I'm going to show you how quick it can be to make 6 cards. Because remember, I said we're going to make 6 cards today. So these are great to make cards with. They are great to add to a scrapbook page, either on the page or in a page protector, a pocket page protector. All right. So these are the in colors, right, that I showed you, that cardstock. These are all based on that. There is a product called Memories and More card bases and envelopes. We talked about that last week, where you have card bases that fit each of these, and they, once folded, they are 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 and 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So you do still have that space around your card to give it a bit of a pop. So I don't have those, but I have cut some cardstock to be that same size. So I wanted to kind of show you some different steps and different levels of wow factor that you could use to make these cards. So for the first card, we're going to have our glue, our card base, and the card that we're going to use. And that's it. Okay? That's it. You can do this with every single, not every single, because not every single one has words on it. Right? So we're just going to add our glue and add our card. I don't know why I did it that way. All right, and just like that, our first card is done. Right, this is meant to be a basic, easy card, ready to just grab and go. Okay, so that is your first card, step 1. So, of course, we want to sometimes have something more than just this, right? So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to come to our second card. All right, so I have a regular A2 card, and I do have a piece for the inside because you guys, if you've watched my videos, you know I like to do stuff on the inside, right? And then we have these 3 cards. So obviously this does not fit, right? It's taller and it's shorter, which is fine. That's what we want. We do want that. But we are going to do a little bit of cutting. Okay? Super simple. We're just going to take this card and we're going to trim this down to 5 1/4. Now that, let me pull this, actually, let me push this up here. So if we do 5 1/4, which that measurement is not down here, so I have to pull this down. All right, so 5 1/4 obviously gives us 3/4 at the end, right? Because our cards are 4 by 6. So we want to make this easy on ourselves. So we're going to cut 1/2 inch first so we can have that strip for the inside. If you have watched my videos, you know I like to dress up that white card that I showed you for the inside. And now we're going to trim at 5 1/4. Okay, so 2 cuts. And this card is ready to go. Now you could do 1 cut. You could do 3/4 on the inside, and that would be fantastic. Okay, so we're gonna have this. This is our scrap. I think that's the only scrap we're gonna have. All right, so let's make sure that our flowers are going the right direction. So we could have done that side, but that is something for you all to decide when you make your cards. Okay, so this is our card base. It's opening on the correct side, and we're just going to center this piece just like that. So let's go ahead and do the inside piece. Now you do not have to do the inside piece. That is up to you. I mean, this would be just a nice little note card, just like this. Okay. So our next step is we're going to take these 2 cards and we're just going to do this with them to give it a little frame. So we're going to put some glue on the back of here. Okay. So I wasn't thinking, I did put the glue all the way to the edges, and that's okay. So I'm just kind of making this the same on those sides. So now we can glue this directly down, or we could pop it up with foam dots, with dimensionals. Let's go ahead and do that because it's always fun to do that. All right, so let's do some snipping here right quick. Give them all a good press and then pop off those backs. Now, if you don't want to deal with dimensionals, you definitely do not have to. You could just glue that straight down and you would have your card done. Okay, that's card number 2. Next up, this is one of the 3x4 cards, right? Super cute. And again, this is, I did make it, but this is one of the same size card bases as what would be in that pack. And for this one, we're actually going to add some stamping. All right, we are going to add thank you to the front, and this just, it fits perfectly. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat and my Memento ink, and we're just going to stamp this. Now you might be thinking, what in the world would I need a card that small? Can I even mail something that small? No, you cannot mail something this small. But, at least to my knowledge. But this is the perfect size card to do like a tipping card. Like if you are staying at a hotel and you want to leave a tip for the maid service or the concierge or anything like that. I know I just said that wrong. That's okay. I'm just letting this dry for a few seconds. You could have these little cards because that pack does come with envelopes as well. And so you could have a little thank you. You could write just a short little note and you can put your tip in it and have it sealed and leave it or give it to them. Right? Super simple, easy, fast, fabulous. Okay. And just like before, we're just going to center this. Right, card number 3, done. Crazy, right? All right, so we've stepped it up every card so far. And normally that's 3 on Thursday. Normally we could be done. So we had all that extra talking and it's still only a half hour. So these cards, so easy to do. So let's step it up a little bit. A little bit more, rather. So I have some pieces here. And I already know some of these pieces are too big because I didn't want to cut them down. So I have an envelope. I have a card base. I have some Country Woods paper, right? Again, that I love this paper. Love it. So we have a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. A piece that is large enough for your envelope flap. And then I have a piece for the inside. So this obviously is too long, but that's okay. I just cut it off of there and we're all good. So let's, oh, I also have a 4 by 5 1/4 white for the inside. And I have this PML card. Oops, sorry. Super cute. So let's do let's do our stamping first. We're actually going to add stamps. So you could just put this together like this, no stamping, and it would be super cute. But we're going to add just a little bit of stamping. And we are stamping birthday wishes. So all of the stamps that I'm using today are from the Simply Said stamp set, because you have all these sentiments They're cute fonts or basic prints, right? So many different things you could use this for. So it is a good thing to have in your arsenal if you are a card maker. And if you're watching this, I'm going to assume that you are. Oh, I was going to. I know I have that right there. Okay. I was going to see if Pretty Peacock, Cajun Craze. So my friend Eileen is fabulous, and she, Knight of Navy, yes, is letting me borrow some of her stamp spots until I can build up my stash. Isn't she fabulous? All right, so let's go ahead and close. So my original thought was to use Memento ink on all of the cards, but we have this, and I want to stamp this off. Okay. Awesome. Now, you know what, I'm going to probably try on the scratch piece just to make sure. She pulled them out and gave them to me, and we didn't check all of them for how juicy they might be or might not be. Fabulous. All right. So when you're using a Stampin' Spot, whether it's a pre-inked one or one that you ink because you got an empty one or empty 5, it's always easiest to face your stamp up and bring your ink to your stamp, unless you have a stamp that literally is this size, and then you could do it the other way around. Yay. Okay. Now that that is stamped, let's go ahead and set that up here, and let's do some gluing. You know, I was going to try and use the Stampin' Seal, rather, but I don't know how well it would work for this, so I'm just going to use my Tombow, because we know how well that works. Ow. Sorry, my thumb just cramped up. That was weird. Alright, so let's see here. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry now as well. This is our 5 1/4 piece, and this is 1/2 inch. And like I said, I just cut it off of the other piece, so obviously I'm not going to need all of it. I need to make sure I'm doing this the right way. So our card is horizontal, so I am going to need more of it than I almost did. Gosh. Okay. Let's try this again. All right, bring in our scissors. And now we are ready to do some more gluing. Let's start over here. So, what do you think? Should we pop up our Memories and More piece, or should we glue that straight down? Okay, so we are going to just center this inside. And then we're going to do the same with a piece on the front. Now, if you wanted to do some paper saving, which I clearly did not do today, you could cut smaller pieces and not have it go all the way across underneath. But this is kind of an easy way to do this, so you know what, I think we're just gonna glue this straight down. So we're just going to kind of put this so that we have, if we're looking at the blue wood that's showing, we're going to kind of divide it into thirds. So we want 1/3 to be over here and 2/3 to be over here. Obviously it's not all the paper, just what's being shown. And that looks pretty good. And look at that. We're done with card number 4. No, wait. We're done with the card, but we need to finish the envelope. Now we're done. Okay. Next one. So we are going to use our card base and card base and envelope. So these are some that I pulled out of a Close to My Heart workshop. So there is that. So we have a white that is 4 by 5 1/4. We have our Memories and More card that we're going to do. This one says hello on one side. Here's to another year on the other. And then we have another piece of DSP that is 4 by 5 1/4. And then, like last time, we have the piece for the envelope and for the inside. So, first things first. We are going to, on the inside piece, we're going to stamp just a note. Right, hello, just a note. Beautiful. All right, now that has time to dry. Let's do our envelope first again. I guess technically it's not first because we've already done something else, right? So now you could do the other side of this paper. It is beautiful. right? Take a look at that. But there's not really a whole lot of that same color that comes through. And while it doesn't necessarily have to be the same color, it doesn't quite jive quite as well as I'd like it to. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put this on the front of our card. We're going to do something special with our Memories and More card. I think this is not the right size of a card base. This is... Oh, no, it is. I forgot what I was doing. My bad. So this piece, I was incorrect, is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it will cover that whole front of the card base. Okay. So let's add... I stamped that in the wrong way. Look, our card is going to go this way, and I stamped that that way. We got to change that. All right, let's try that again, shall we? All right, let's try that again. Just a note. Oh no. I dropped my stamp on something. Not exactly what I wanted to do, but that's okay. I'll live. I will. Alright, so we want to make sure that our leaves are going the right way, up and down, which I didn't actually check on the front for the card, but thankfully that is going the right direction as well. Okay. So I'm going to just set this on top because I want to, if that ink is not dry, then it will move onto the part that's going to be covered on the front of the card, as opposed to my matte. Okay, so again, beautiful paper. This would be a fun note card just like this, but we're gonna do something fun because that's what we're gonna do. All right, so let's go ahead and grab a ruler and a pencil. Do you have to do this part? Absolutely not. But I know some of you don't want to eyeball, right? So our side is 4 inches, and we're going to mark at 2 inches just so we can have that easy reference. And then we're going to mark at 1 1/4, which is 3/4. So we're going to go 3/4 the other way and do 2 3/4. Okay, we're going to flip this around and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we don't have to mark the 2 because that part was just an easy reference for us. So 1 1/4 and 2 3/4. Okay. We might have to adjust this a little bit because I haven't actually done this part yet. But I have a vision, right? So we're gonna line up on our 1 1/4 mark that we made, and we're going to cut, but we're not going to cut through our H and L's. Okay, so we're going to leave a little bit of space. Right? And as much space as you would for like a die cut. Okay. So I've done the top and the bottom, and now I'm going to come through and I'm going to put a tiny little mark between the L's. Literally, I'm just going to push it down so there's that mark there because I can't see. I just need to know kind of where that's going to fall. And so I close it down again, so push it through the paper. And while I know that you guys can't necessarily see, or maybe you can see better than I can see. So I'm just cutting a little bit and then moving my blade out of the way to see where it is. Okay, so this is what we have so far, right? So we're going to flip it around to the other marks and do the exact same thing. Obviously, it will be slightly different because we have the bottoms of the letters instead of... You know what, I'm just going to go straight across. And then down to the bottom again. Okay, so we're done with the paper trimmer part. And this is what we have. So we have, right? So we have this, and we have a little hole here. We have a mark here so that we can come down to the right spot. And we're just going to grab our scissors and fussy cut around the rest, the parts that stick out. Okay. And if you want, you can just snip off the extra parts, the top and the bottom, because we're not going to use them for this card. But if you'd like, you can not trim it off. Like normally I would, I'd just snip, off it goes. But if you want, the more whole you keep it, the more of it you can use for something else. Alright, so I am going to snip at this point, this way, because that'll make this part much easier. Okay, so that's the first part so far. So you're going to want to try to keep the same amount of bubble around your letters. Sometimes that's much easier said than done. Here, I'm going to kind of cheat for a second. finish this, and then I can come back to the L's. So let's make this a little bit better here. You know what, I have a little trick I can show you too. Alright, so I want to bring this down a little bit better. Alright, so you just want to make sure that you are happy with it. Okay, so now you have these two pieces that you can do a number of things with, and you could use them for the next card if you really wanted to. So there's that. Set them off to the side. So here is our card. If you have some not so great connect lines, right, when you need to open your scissors again so you can cut some more, a little secret hack for you is is a nail file. So just grab your nail file and just ever so gently, right? You're not trying to distress it. You're just trying to clean it up a little bit. It works so well. Alright, so there we have that piece. And then, yes, it is too long, and that's okay. We can trim it after the fact. But I think popping it up is definitely the way to go. So let's go ahead and get some foam dots, and let's actually use some mini as well. And you get 3 sheets of these minis. Like, this is kind of crazy, actually. Oh, they're so small. They're so cute, you guys. Okay, I don't think a mini will fit there, so we're just gonna go ahead and use some of these edge pieces. I don't need to go all the way to the edge. Remember, we're cutting some off. Let's fix that real quick. let's do one kind of skinny one so that we can put it on our little tail down here. Okay, so that should be, that's good. Okay. So give everything a good press and peel off those backings. Because these backings come off so nicely. You don't even need fingernails, you just need fingers. Right, because I'm just, look at that, I'm just rubbing and they're coming off. Sometimes I have to rub more than once, but of course, then one has to be a pain to say nuh-uh, nuh-uh. Okay. So now where you put it on your card, up to you. I think I want to put it down a little bit like this. I hope that's centered. And now we're just going to trim off those pieces. My DSP was a little bit long, so I have to cut that too. And voila, our card is done. Again, envelope is not done. Finish that off. So you guys will have to let me know if there is a card design that you would like to know how to do, or you would like to see my take on it. Let me know. I can do that. All right, last card. So we're gonna add a few more things here, right? Because we're stepping up every single time, right? Now, I did not add any embellishments or anything to these cards. You can, and we might at the end, but we didn't. All right, so we have our envelope. We have some white cardstock. We have our piece of Country Woods DSP for the envelope and for the inside of the card. We have some card base. We have some black cardstock. So this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. This one is 3 by 4. And then we have 2 cards that we're using and a little bit more of that DSP. Okay, so let's, like always, let's start with our stamping. That was the wrong piece. This piece. And we are going to do Thinking of You. And we're going to do this in the bottom corner of our piece. All right. We do need to trim this just a little bit. Probably should have done that before I stamped, but that's okay. We can do that here in a few moments after that's dried. Our next step, we're going to bring in our cardstock, our white cardstock, and I am bringing in some watercolor pencils. I'm actually using one from each of these, and I am using Melon Mambo and Flirty Flamingo. So neither of these colors are actually in these papers, but they do coordinate really well. And then I'm also going to bring in some blender pens. Now you could use a water brush if you wanted. This is just white cardstock. This is not a watercolor cardstock. I just wanted to show you real quick. So these are most of the pencils. Obviously I've taken one out already. Right? Super nice. They have the, the colors at the end, like the watercolor pencils that Close My Heart had, and most watercolor pencils, period, for that matter. Alright, so I'm just going to scribble Alright, and this is just, it's a usable scrap, a usable size scrap of white cardstock. So I have switched pencils here, in case you missed that. So I'm not coloring super hard, right? I'm just putting some color down. And then I'm going to take the blender pen, and as you can see, I did this already. And we're just going to go over top of that. Right, and that's just going to smooth that out. It's going to adjust the color just a little bit, as you just saw, because water will do that. And then you're just going to like we used to do with the water brushes, you're just going to color until it doesn't color anymore, until it runs clear again. So the paper started peeling because it's not a watercolor paper. It's not meant for that. So we're going to let this dry while we finish up the card so that we can do our next step. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our envelope. Now, if you are worried about a mess when you are using your liquid glue, whether it be Tombow or the other, you can get or you could use a silicone craft mat. And you can see this is the glue from when we used it 2 weeks ago. And I left it on there so I could show you. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry now. And since we're here, this, like I said, this is the glue and the cat hair from 2 weeks ago. And it's shiny, it's dry, it's sticky because it's Tombow glue, right? So it dries sticky and it just rolls up and your mat is clean. My mat probably still has cat hair on it, but it has no glue on it. It's not sticky anymore. So it's pretty fabulous. Okay. I forgot to grab a piece of white, so we have a white that is 4 by 5 1/4. And yes, I have a bunch of those cut. This card is vertical, so we're doing it the right way this time. But yes, I do have a bunch of these pre-cut and ready to go because I use them in all of my cards, so it makes sense to just have it ready to go. Okay, put this in the card. All right, next step. So we're going to take our black cardstock that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, remember? And we're going to glue our card to the top. And we're just going to center that on all 3 sides. Right, so you should have the same border, or as close as you can make it, all the way around. And then we're going to do the same thing with our DSP. Right, and then if you are, is this one? It's a smidge long. All right, we're going to cheat. We're going to use this one since I already have glue on here, but it's not long on that one. You know what, that's okay. We're gonna fudge it. Oh, that one's a little bit crooked. That's okay. It's gonna be hidden. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna hide that. Okay, so we are going to take some black twine from the Essentials pack. And normally what people will do is they are going to wrap this around like this, right? But I want to do 5 strands. I don't want to waste that much, okay? And then the next bit of information to help this make sense is this is going to be at an angle on the front of our card. So we want to come to at least here, right? So let's go ahead and make a mark. So at least here. Try this again. And there. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. And we're going to take some Stampin' Seal. And we're just going to lay a little bit of that down. Grab our scissors, grab the end. Actually, before we do that, I want to make this a little bit taller. So I have essentially 2 widths, right? 2 rows, top and bottom, of the glue. So I'm going to lay the first strand down right over the meat of the meeting of our papers, and then the next one I'm going to do right above. I'm going to leave a smidge of line, or space rather, and then again one more time, same thing, voila. So is this a little bit more work? Yes it is. And I apologize, I did not turn off the sound on my computer, so you probably just heard that bing. All right. Voila. To make this easy on myself, I'm going to flip this around, and then I'm going to do the exact same process. Oh, that feels weird. On the other side. So we probably don't even need this to be this long. I just wanted to make sure that it was going to be easy for me to grab a hold of it and wrap it around to the back side. So these by default are going to be lined up-ish. They're not going to be exact, but no one is going to expect twine to be exact. Okay, so that is all the twine that we are using. So let's go ahead and bring in our silicone mat. And I want these to be laying flat. So I'm going to bring in my take my pick tool. Now I'm worried. Okay. Just like that. Perfect. And then run some of that runner again, stamp and seal. I don't want this big space here. Why is there a big space here? Okay, and then we'll go ahead and run the tape on the other side, and then we'll straighten these out. All right, I have to do these separately for some reason, otherwise it puts that giant gap in there, which I don't want. I did not get my tape in the right spot. That would be helpful. Okay. So then you can, but you don't have to trim off the extra of your twine. All right, and then that's where we have that. So let's go ahead and glue this to the front of the card. So we're just going to glue this down. So I'm going to run my stamp and seal over the twine. Make sure I put this on the right way. So we want the pink at the top. And this is going to be a very small border, so be aware of that. Okay. Card is lots done, but not all the way done. Okay, we need to trim this down, right? Because our mat is 3x4, as is this. They are the same size, but we want it to be a mat. So we need to trim off we want to trim off 1/8 of an inch. So 1/4 8. So we're going to trim it off the top, and then we're going to see if this is actually what we want. Nope, we're going to do 1/4 inch. So a secondary 1/8 of an inch, and then 1/4 of an inch on the other side. And we're done with that, and that will go just like that on our card. Oh, that twisted. Okay. So we are going to pop this up, right? So we need some dimensionals. Oh, I did not cut that one. That one's all gone. All right, so that I don't have to go digging, I'm just gonna cut these ones. I apologize for that beeping. That was the hot water pot saying, "This is cool now." Okay. I can't do that. Oh my goodness, I did not realize that. These are actually thinner. All right. So I do apologize. I didn't realize that they were thinner. Now you know. We both learned something new today. All right, let's grab. These were so close together, it didn't look like they'd actually cut all the way. This is harder to do when these are the first thing coming off the sheet. Just, you know, FYI. So this would be the perfect card to use the black dimensionals, but I don't have those yet. So okay. So this card is fun like this, right? But we gotta, it's our last card. It's our wow card. We gotta wow it up a little bit more. So we are going to take this watercoloring that we did, right? And we are going to do some die cutting. So let's do this. So these are from the perennial. No, they're not. Yes, they are. Painted lavender. My bad. So these, no, those are not from there. The Sentimental Park dies is where these are from. Alright, so we're going to move these over here. Oh goodness. Alright, we'll have to run this through twice because I've just now lost a die. And instead of making you guys wait for me to find it, we will just run this through 2 times. If your die sandwich does not want to go through, it could be because you were trying to start all of them at the same spot, like this. So if you have this set up with your dies and whatever, and it doesn't want to start, then try moving one plate forward just a little bit, because then the front can dip, right? So this end could dip a little bit, this end could come up a little bit for the rollers to get up onto your die sandwich. Okay, so we'll put those back there so that we know where they are. So these dies actually emboss. And that one got kind of cut, so we'll not use that one. So they emboss at the same time. I'm going to take your pick tool, and I'm just going to kind of see where I want these all to be. Right, so these colors are now, let's do a little one, coordinating with our paper back here. And you can see how you could have done that same thing with this paper, and it would have been super cute. Let's do this one right here. So you don't have to do all of them. I think I want that one actually coming off the edge like that. All right, so ouch. Let's try something together, shall we? I've not used this. I've not even opened it. Oh, which means that there is... I want to move that out of the way. Okay, so there is a seal on the inside, which is fantastic. This helps protect your stuff as it's being shipped. Okay. So I don't know if you can tell on camera. Not really. But this glue is a very thin glue. Alright, we are fully sealed on that one. So this has a pin in it. So when you put it back, when you're done, you will insert the pin into the nozzle, and that will help it to not clog. Help, not guarantee, just know. All right, so let's grab a scrap so I can see how this flows. Okay, nice. So I do not have enough hands. I need one more hand. No bubbles. And I'm going to take this out so that I can use it to get the die cut off of the Take Your Pick tool. And not have to use my big old fingers. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted it to do. Okay, but the bubble finally popped. Oh, that did squish out a little bit too much. So if you wanted, oh, I think I will actually. So on this lower dark pink one, I think I'm going to, what's up with these bubbles? I'm going to use a mini dimensional. I'm going to pop it up because I think that would be super cute. So the bubbles could be because I'm going back and forth between upright and not. So that could be causing bubbles, right? It might be, very well could be user error. Which, seeing as it's the very first time I've ever used it, could very well be the case. Alright, now we want to do this one over here. Alright. Then we need this one. Is that going to be too big? No, it's just perfect. Nice. All right, so now ideally you tap your bottle on your table. So this might be loud, I apologize. get all your glue down. And then if you have a tissue handy, squeeze with your bottle fully upright. Squeeze. And that will remove the glue from the nozzle itself. And then you screw that back on. So those will be helpful hints for you for later. Okay. Move all this stuff out of the way. And this is our card. Our card is done. So if you wanted to step this up one more step, you could add some heat embossing. So maybe instead of stamping your sentiment in black, maybe you stamp it in Versamark and use some white embossing powder or silver or gold or whatever. And then you could add that as a flag, or you could make that a little bit longer and do a whole, you know, all the way across type of thing. So now that our card is done, let's finish our envelope and then we'll be done with our class for tonight. So 6 cards. Some super easy. And then I did have a few cards left over after I made these, and I didn't want to just, you know, have them just be, so I made them into some cards too. But I stuck with the theme and went with super easy. So here we have card 6, 5, 4, 1 second. Okay, so 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So those are all of the cards that we made today. So super quick look at the other. So we have 5 more cards, and they all kind of fall into the lines of the first one and the third one, right? So we have some simple, just card on base, and one more card on base. This one, we have card with stamping on base, and then this one stamping on cardstock with card on base. So super simple cards, easy to do, but I wanted to show you that you could amp them up super easily and still have fun with it. I hope you had fun with it anyway. So that is our card class for today. Thank you so very much for joining me, and I do hope that I will see you guys next week. I would love it if you left a comment down below, and if you haven't already, hit like and subscribe, and if you want to be notified when I have new videos or go live, hit that bell icon and it will let you know when I do either of those things. So thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.